Bernie Guindon was the founder and national president of Satan's Choice Motorcycle Club from 1965 to 2000. He was later a member of the Hells Angels until his retirement in 2006. In 1959, at the age of 17, Guindon joined the Golden Hawk Riders Outlaw Biker Club. In 1961, Guindon came to be involved in a feud with the Black Diamond Riders. In 1962, the Satan's Choice Club, led by Don Norris, was forced to disband following attacks from the rival Black Diamonds Riders Club. The Black Diamond Riders followed this up by attacking the Golden Hawk Riders during a field day in the summer of 1962. During the Battle of Pebblestone, as the fight was called, Guindon came face to face with Barnes and exchanged blows. Guindon punched out a Black Diamond Rider, Tom Bird, and forced Barnes to retreat. It became known as the Battle of the Pebblestone, and it damaged the prestige of the Golden Hawk Riders, who came to be called the Chicken Hawks, and Guindon ended up leaving the club. Bernie devised a strategy of seeking to humiliate the Black Diamond Riders by amalgamating several different outlaw biker clubs in one and forcing the Black Diamond Riders to retreat by confronting them with overwhelming numbers. Guindon founded a new club called the Phantom Riders. In 1965, Guindon founded the Satan's Choice Outlaw Biker Club in Toronto by merging his Phantom Riders of Oshawa with 3 other outlaw biker clubs: the Canadian Lancers, the Wild Ones, and the Throttle Twisters. Guindon chose the name Satan's Choice and adopted the patch of the disbanded club because he knew it would enrage the Black Diamond Riders. Guindon asked and received permission from Norris to use the name and the patch of the Satan's Choice. With 4 chapters, Satan's Choice became the largest outlaw biker club in Canada, and Guindon became president of the new club. With the numbers in his favor, Guindon humiliated the Black Diamond Riders by forcing them to retreat from fights that they knew they would lose. He ordered them to stop attacking other clubs and stick to their territory in Toronto. The humiliation caused the Black Diamond Riders to lose respect, and by 1968, what had once been the largest outlaw biker club in Toronto had declined to only 15 members. In the Satan's Choice, Guindon and the rest of the club professed to reject materialism, claiming that the only possession they valued were their motorcycles, and maintained that they were rejecting the conformity of Canadian society. In late 1966, a police cruiser was almost permanently parked outside of Guindon's home in Oshawa as a way of reminding him that the police were always watching him. In 1967, Guindon was present at a Satan's Choice field day in St. Catherine, attended by other biker clubs as well, with a total of about 200 people. The anti-riot squad showed up in their riot gear and began to advance on the bikers, banging their nightsticks against their shields. Guindon organized a response with the microphone saying, be cool, let them come," as the anti-riot squad numbered only 100, while the bikers and their girlfriends numbered around 200. The police found themselves surrounded on the open field, so they retreated. In 1967, a black outlaw biker from Montreal, Rod McLeod, contacted Guindon at a bikers convention at Wasaga Beach and asked him to form the first Satan's Choice chapter in the Labelle province. Guindon granted the request, making McLeod the first black chapter president anywhere in Canada. Outlaw biker clubs tend to shun non-white applicants, and Guindon was highly unusual in allowing a black man to lead a chapter. In September 1967, Guindon held the first national convention of Satan's Choice at a farmhouse at Markham Township, just outside of Toronto. 23 police officers attempted a raid on the Satan's Choice convention about midnight, but were forced to retreat under a shower of empty beer bottles. The police returned with a greater force of 84 officers and arrested 55 bikers, including Guindon and the 9 women who also attended the party. By 1968, the Toronto chapter of the Satan's Choice had about 50 members, making it the largest outlaw biker club in Toronto. In 1968, Guindon was approached by the Hells Angels for the first time with the offer to have Satan's Choice patch over to become Hells Angels. Guindon was a proud Canadian and rejected the offer, saying he did not want his club absorbed into an American club. Real quick, if you enjoy MC Culture content, smash the like and the subscribe button, and give me a pound wherever you're from, and get your Ghostavelli mask, shades, Demons Row snapbacks in all colors, tank tops, crew necks, track races. We got it all, and you can get it on www.demonsrow.com. Let's get back into it. In June '68, Guindon led an attack by Satan's Choice members on a crossbreeds meeting that saw the latter savagely beaten and their motorcycles trashed. The incident badly damaged the reputation of the crossbreeds as they disbanded in August 1968. Guindon attracted national notoriety by holding a bikers rally in Wasago Beach that featured a contest that involved having Choice members chase down and run over live chickens with their motorcycles. In 1970, Satan's Choice had about 300 members and 12 chapters, making the Satan's Choice the second largest outlaw biker club in Canada, being exceeded only by the Hells Angels. In October 1968, Guindon was charged with sleeping with a 15-year-old girl. He said he thought the girl was 18 years old. May 69, he was convicted of sexual assault and sentenced to 5 years in prison. Guindon went to prison. In prison, he was considered to be guilty of a skin beef, making him very unpopular with the other prisoners. Guindon was released early from prison on good behavior. He would go on to win the Ontario Golden Gloves, the Eastern Canadian Golden Gloves, and Canadian Golden Glove tournaments. Guindon won a bronze medal in boxing at the 1971 Pan American Games, and he was looking forward to boxing for Canada at the 1972 Olympics, but because of his previous charges, he was not accepted. In 75, he forged an alliance with the Outlaws Biker Club. The Montreal chapter of the Satan's Choice became involved in a conflict with the Popeyes, the most violent of Quebec's many outlaw biker clubs. The Popeyes placed a contract on Guindon's life. At the same time, McEwen, who was also a police informant, was scheming to have Guindon in prison in order to allow him to serve as the Satan's Choice national president. On August 6, 1975, the undercover officers raided a snack bar located on an island in a lake and found Guindon in Templain with over 6 million in PCP tablets. It was estimated that he was making 60 million per month in sales. After his arrest, Guindon was visited by members of the Satan's Choice, Cecil Kirby and Frank Letty. Kirby felt he was owed money by Guindon and ended up leaving the Satan's Choice to become a bomber and a hitman for the Mafia. In May 1976, Guindon and Templain were convicted of conspiracy to manufacture and sell drugs and were sentenced to 17 years in prison each. During his second prison term, Satan's Choice began to fall apart, and on July 1977, several Satan's Choice chapters patched over to join the Outlaws. When Guindon was released from prison in 1984, all the Satan's Choice he had left were a couple of chapters. First thing Guindon did when he got home was went to Windsor to beat up Bill Huckle, the former president of the Choice chapter who had gone over to the Outlaws in 1977. Guindon, whose Canadian nationalism was described as almost a mania, repeatedly turned down offers all throughout the 1990s made by the Hells Angels national president Walter Stadnick. In the summer of 1995, Satan's Choice became involved in a biker war with the Loners, another outlaw biker club founded by former Choice member Frank Letty, who as the leader of the Diablos was now allied with the Choice against his former club. The use of rocket launchers to attack each other's clubhouses led to an attempt by the mayor of Toronto, Barbara Hall, to ban all outlaw bikers in Toronto. By the late 1990s, Guindon was starting to suffer from brain damage caused by his boxing career, and power began to slip from his hands. Satan's Choice came to be dominated by Andre Wattiel, the president of the Choice Kitchener chapter, who was in favor of joining the Hells Angels. In 1996, Guindon retired as national president, handing over power to Wattiel. On the 29th of December 2000, Guindon and the rest of the Satan's Choice went to Montreal to join the Hells Angels. Guindon said it was better to have the Satan's Choice join the Hells Angels to avoid the violence. In April 2006, he left the Angels in good standing.
Oh.